I'm going to go over a Hayabusa engine we're currently rebuilding right now. We took this engine, well, first, we had this Hayabusa on the dyno and we lost oil pressure. Well, we were pretty sure, we knew the engine didn't have many miles on it, and we also knew that there was a question whether the oil pump was good or bad. So we did, at our bike shop, Austin Performance Power Sports, we did put a new oil pump in it right here. So I'm going to go over what we found so far. So when we pulled the oil pan off, we found copper inside the oil pan. And we knew that was bearing material. And we knew that we had lost oil pressure. As soon as this engine would get warm, it would lose oil pressure. Well, I'm in the middle of tearing this thing down to rebuild it for the customer, and we do believe this is a big bore engine. Based off the dyno numbers of what it did, I think there's a really good possibility it is a big bore engine, so it has been a part. So we knew that we had copper in the oil pan, and I'll show you that, and that's bearing material. All right, I got the bolt out. Try and pull this off real quick. We need that back. It goes on this side like this, a little thrust washer, or that little spacer. And look at this right here. So that bearing, there's where we're getting that bearing material from. And it looks like this has also got in there and broke the corner of that off. Hard telling what else has been down inside here. Well, I'm going to proceed to take this apart. All right, you can see right down here next to the oil plug, those are little bits of copper. Well, like I said, we're in the middle of taking this thing apart. And we're disassembling this lower end. And, you know, I'm kind of looking for signs of some scraping, you know, anything out of the ordinary. Well, I've taken this side cover off right here, taken the bolts out, and I got over here to this cover, and I noticed something a little weird. Well, look at that. That is a bearing. There's another bearing right here. So this is on the side cover of this engine, and we want this to stay on this. We want to take this off right here before this falls. But look at that. Look at the scraping on that right there. That's not good either. So something, you know, that's somebody's put this spacer on here, and there's quite a bit of grinding going on at the same time. So let me see if I can wiggle this bearing out of here with a pair of needle nose. Yeah, look at that. That's crazy. Now, how in the world did that thing come out of here, or were they left in there? That's the next question. So we're going to continue to tear this engine down. So there's number one. Let's see, I don't know if I can get this one out or not. I'm going to go ahead and take this bolt out right here and take this off so I can get that bearing out there. All right, so we got the lower case off. That bearing's inside here. This bearing's inside here. This bearing is completely beat the crap, and it no longer fits there, so it's spun inside this case. That don't fit anymore. You can see that's completely loose. They're supposed to be pretty tight inside here, of course. This one, you know, it's got some scarring, some damage on it. That one's completely missing. And that is this bearing right here. So these were the two bearings that we found right here, come from right here. And you can see there's scarring on top of the crankshaft. So I did get a little bit ahead of myself, When I found these, you know, normally I would have spun this engine over. I would have pulled the cams, pull all that stuff out. That way when I flip it over this last time, I can pull the crankshaft and everything. But after I got these bearings out here, I got excited and I wanted to take it apart. So we got some work ahead of us. I'm going to probably throw the cover back on, bottom cover, a couple bolts in it, hold the crank from falling out, drop the timing chain, you know, all that good stuff. Pull the head, get it the rest of the way apart.